The way I see future is that every person, marketer, sales person, artist, they will have a Claude Code helping them as well.
Like everyone is going to rely on these systems and we're plugging the agents into the internet.
Hey everyone, I'm Igor. I'm a software engineer building AI CRM. I work for Clarify.ai.
So you've been quite bullish on AI. How has your day-to-day experience changed in the last 2 years from using AI? And can you talk a bit about where that has started and where it is now?
Yeah, absolutely. I think, when did it start? Probably 3 or 4 years ago when ChatGPT just came out. Everyone was talking about it, right?
Yeah.
So
Even my grandma downloaded it.
yeah, everyone tried it. And this is when I started just using it like, hey, solve this task for me, And it was, let's say, pretty shitty at the time, right? It would do some of the work for you, but still, you have to go back and forth very often.
Copying like code into ChatGPT. And
Exactly.
then copying from ChatGPT. You became like a middleman between.
Exactly, just copying, just doing the copying.
Copying, that was your job, right?
Yeah, but then over time, people learned that, hey, how can we make models better? So making models better was one of the improvements there, but also the proper user experience, proper developer experience is what changed it all, right? At some point they were like, hey, let's freaking fork the VS Code and let's make a cursor, right? And now you have your editing experience and you also have an agent running, right? And it wasn't the like full-scale agent at the time. Oh, actually, before everything, GitHub Copilot, right? It was wow. It was a big thing. Remember that when you download it and you just press tab, you just type something and press tab and it just works, right? But it progresses so quickly. Like I don't remember when was the last time I pressed tab.
Like, yeah, you're right, because the IDEs have changed. We're running agent-driven workflows instead, where you're not really looking at the code so often. Sometimes you'll go there, but it's like opening the bonnet of your car. You only open it if there's smoke coming out, You
That's
don't
true, that's
open
true.
and tweak it for any reason. Where is agentic development now? Like, what is the state-of-the-art stuff you're working with, like, on the agentic front? We've went from copying from ChatGPT to your code editor to we've went from agentic development in the sense of you write a prompt and you dispatch an agent, you might connect to an MCP server to get more information for your business. What is the most state-of-the-art tooling now, and what's next?
That's a great question. So right now, every day I'm using Conductor. Conductor is your agent orchestrator, if you will.
Orchestration.
Exactly. So everyone is using Claude Code pretty much, right?
Yes.
It just has explosive growth. So
Yeah.
everyone is using that. And Conductor, what it allows you to do is to run multiple Claude Code agents in parallel.
Okay.
So you have a one single view where on the left in the sidebar, you have your Git work trees, and each work tree is a separate task that the agent is working on. So instead of having like 5, 10 different terminals, I have 10 tabs on the left. Each tab is working. Whenever the Claude Code finished in that particular tab, it says, hey, I finished. It highlighted. I go there and I say, cool, I can look at the diff and I can say create the PR or do some changes there. You have a nice file view. So it's like, I really like the direction where it's all going to. Basically, if previously we had to copy paste the code, as you said, then in Cursor, it would just make the changes. We would look at it still in the editor. Now we don't need to have an editor.
Yeah.
With tools like Conductor, you talk to AI. It's on a really good level at this point. I'm using Opus 4.8. I haven't tried Fable yet.
We at Callstack, I think a few colleagues tried it, and it like one-shotted like $20, like boom, burning money fast,
Yeah. Well, like Boris from Claude Code said, you need to use the most expensive model and get the most out of it. Not always feasible, right? Because sometimes, like if you use 4.8 on ultra mode, it's like you just burn a lot of money. Almost too much.
Burning money.
So, but the point is, it's gonna improve the model capabilities, right? So now with 4.8, all we need really is a chat. This is why so many people love Claude Code. It just works so well.
Yeah.
And then you need to have some extension so that you can preview the files. For now, right? Now we're still previewing the files just in case
Right.
there is something bad there.
Yeah, it's just to keep that like developer pride, right?
Exactly, exactly.
It's like we still need to see the files in the code.
Yeah. I think there is safety net as well, because sometimes it sort of changes the architecture a little bit and it's going in some wrong direction. And then you know that over time it's going to degrade. So this is not good. But again, this is a problem of today. Who knows what's going to happen in a couple of months, right? This experience will be improved way more, and probably we will not have diff viewers anymore at some point, like in a year's time, right? And then who knows? Just voice talking to your AI. I'm also doing that, so I'm using Wispr Flow.
You're using voice to code, basically.
Exactly. Wispr Flow is a great tool. There are some open source alternatives as well. What it allows you to do is just you press a hotkey and then headless recording. So I go to the kitchen, I make a coffee, and I'm just brain dumping everything that I have in my head. Right? It's useful for when I want the model to do some research or just explaining the task, or maybe like I have some crazy idea that I want to write a blog post about. And like now, instead of me trying to create this plan, I first go to the model, just Wispr Flow into it, and then it creates a plan.
And where do these brain dumps go? So I'm also interested about like where you do a brain dump, making coffee in the kitchen.
Yeah.
That gets triggered as a Claude Code session, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Does that just live in the Claude Code session, or are you using, is Claude Code instructed with a custom scale or MCP to store that somewhere? Like, how do you aggregate all those sessions? I think that's a major pain point that, we can run off a session for this and we can run off a session for this, but at the end, you kind of need to pull everything together and have all those notes in some sort of place if it's like a blog post.
Totally.
Do you have skills and custom skills set up with your own workflow so Claude Code understands where to put things? And can you talk a bit about how you've set that up?
Yeah, totally. So I'm not very good at keeping the raw notes, but what I do just to track all this history of posts is I have a custom Claude project right now, and then every time I make a LinkedIn post, I copy it there. So it knows, this is what we were talking about in terms of style of voice, yeah? So whenever I want to write a new article, I do the brain dump to chat, to that Claude project. It knows all of the stuff about me, how I'm writing, that I'm using emojis, all the hooks that I'm using and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
And then it's gonna help me first restructure the whole thing and ask me some questions as well. Because the best posts are the ones that are coming from like proper interview before them.
Yeah.
So previously I would have a marketing folk in my team, and this guy would ask me some really interesting questions and basically getting insights from me. Because I feel like all of us have tons of insights, and whether you put it in a blog post or no is just a matter of habit. And this is like same about talking as well.
Yeah.
Right? If you never went on the stage, you're not gonna do that. But if you want to and you go a couple of times, you will be like, damn man, this is just a matter of habit. It's a practice on repeat, right? So answering your question again, just a Claude project that knows my style of voice and knows how to ask some of the questions. Nothing fancy there.
So it gives you almost a draft where you can kind of work with that.
Yeah,
draft
exactly.
already.
It takes the brain dump, right?
Yeah.
I can say like, hey, I'm thinking about this and it solves this problem because of that. And just like all these messy ideas, and then creates a good structure that's then easy to follow.
Yeah, cool. I want to ask a quick question about AI orchestration. So you said that you had like this Conductor software. Does this Conductor software just do code? I'm guessing you're dispatching multiple sessions at a time, right? So you've got multiple Claude Code sessions running for maybe it's different projects, maybe it's like different tasks in the same project. When it comes to core work and admin type tasks, because usually I find my day is like, you've got software stuff that you need to do, but I also need to like write an email here, or I need to research this, or I need to, for example, book my doctor's appointment, whatever. Do you have your your Conductor set up to do core work type tasks mixed in with coding type tasks, or do you keep those separate?
I do mix them, yeah. I rarely use co-work. I think lately I used it to fill in a visa application form where I had to use a very annoying form to like add places that I visited in the last 10 years. So I use Cowork for that. It's a
Yeah.
no-brainer there. But you need to make sure that the data is correct after that. But then for everything else, I'm trying to use Conductor and Claude Code.
Conductor.
For example, like at the end of the week, I need to give an update on my project, right? So I go there and say, look, check Slack via the MCP that I connected to you, this particular channel, check the linear tasks, who did what from the team, and then give me a linear update. And then I'm like reshuffling things around and making it more personal, let's say. And it works really well. So yeah, I try to offload all the work like this, also for draft emails, yeah? Like go check this, something else, use these MCPs, and what should I say to this customer?
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Cool. And for people listening out there who are interested in AI automation, and not just AI automation, but developer AI automation, what kind of tools and resources do you have? Anything which you would recommend? Maybe shameless plug, your blog.
Yeah, well, check out my LinkedIn. I don't write too much about AI automation, though. I think more on the product side of things. But I think it's important nowadays to use AI, wherever possible. You never know which use cases it can automate. Sometimes you find that it's doing some wow, cool things. So use AI at all times. And as for the actually building with AI, many products benefit from that. So what was in the trends last year was creating the chatbots, right? As you remember, 4 years ago when ChatGPT came out, people tried to create the chatbots. At the time, it was RAG. So someone would attempt to do RAG with vector search and so on and so forth. And it just wasn't as powerful as now. So what changed? And people were considering chats as not very good interfaces at the time. And it changed. So last year, we had a lot of chats. Why? Because now they can execute the tools so well. The models are so smart, and there's now this tool execution protocol that they follow really well. So now you don't have to have RAG. Now your model can just get data from different sources and MCPs, right? And we see how Claude is doing that, OpenAI is doing that, and then everyone is copying that into their applications, which makes sense. So last year it was the chatbots. Now it's agentic era. So everyone is trying to build platform for agents, including ourselves as well. Platform where you basically have your ChatGPT, right? Just a normal chat, but it's running every day, or it's running whenever a new email comes up into the system. So this is like a hot topic right now. So just look at your product and see, is there anything that you can automate with AI? For example, if you have like a complicated dashboard project where user needs to do multiple clicks to achieve the goal, can it be something like they can talk to the chat and then the chat will generate some JSON and apply it to the system, right? Because if that's the case, then it's a win-win.
Yeah.
I think ultimately engineers at this point, they have the best possible experience of doing the work. Like all the hot technologies, we try them first, including Claude Code. So the way I see future is that every person, marketer, sales person, artist, they will have a Claude Code helping them as well.
Sure, I get what you're saying. Like everyone is gonna rely on these systems, and we're plugging the agents into the internet.
Exactly.
Um,
And as an analogy as well, think about this. Now when Claude Code is writing something for us, we can preview the diff, right? We will open it somewhere on the site and see the diff and say, looks good to me. Why does experience have to be any different for any other job, right? If I'm an artist, fine, it's gonna create something for me in one of the tools that I'm using for creating art, and then it's gonna show it for me as well. So it's like, it's a very, very good experience for the user until we get to the point where you don't even have to check it.
so what's a good experience? Like this diff type of thing,
Yeah, I think just being able in natural language to describe what you want and actually get it done, and then you can always verify on the side what's going on. But I think like this natural language processing is what enables us to do these cool things. I just want to tell what I want, and then like the models will improve a lot. And already, again, as engineers, we know that, right? What was not possible 7 months ago or 8 months ago before Opus 4.6. Remember how big of a jump it was when Opus 4.6 came up?
Yeah.
And like you're writing
Crazy.
the code, and then at some point you realize that damn, 99% of the code is now written by AI. It's like very seamless transition in your mind, but then,
like,
wow, and it's gonna continue like this.
Yeah, that's so true. So don't code, yeah?
Yeah.
Use agents.
Always.
Okay, one last quick fun question.
Yeah.
What do you have a name for your agent?
Oh yeah, we call it rep.
What's it called?
Rep, as a
Rep.
sales rep.
Oh, rep. Okay,
Yeah.
okay. Nice.
Well, nice.
Good to talk to you, dude.
Thank you.
Thank you.